So listening to the weekend show with Anthony Davis, he had a great question for his guest last week. He said that in England that they would have held Trump to account. Trump's type of response to reporters attacking them personally, and he's right. That happened. The black female reporter. That's the one instance that come to mind. He was very disrespectful towards her, cutting her off and such. Um, he Anthony Davis intimated that Trump would have been laughed on the stage when Trump came up with um, the Muslim ban. That would have never been allowed and all that kind of stuff. That the press in Europe would have been a lot more aggressive, and that they would have been more held him more accountable. Um, and Lady said he was wrong, and I think the same thing. Here's the problem: this in Europe. Some things that he says are interesting because it gives you different viewpoint than I would have as an American living in the States. Never been overseas, but he doesn't get this part. He go a little further. He talks about how when Trump talked about how I could kill folks, I kill somebody on Fourth Avenue and get away with it in broad daylight. Supporters would be still support him for it and all that. Why the press didn't call him out on that? It wouldn't have mattered. Even if you're Lincoln Republicans, whatever. Even if they were to ride hard on him every week, make a new commercial, it wouldn't have mattered. Trump supporters knew what they were backing. They know what they got into debate with, and that's something I had to learn was that there's really no aspect of Trump that they were surprised by. That if you're trying to run the left with this idea that he's breaking the law and so he shouldn't be president, you're wrong. That's what the Democratic Party got wrong. Maybe they didn't care, but that's what you got wrong. Him, when he came out running and he said that, he had contributed money and he owned half the people on the stage, people didn't see that as being a thug or a criminal or a crook. People saw that as being a badass. So in this case, what the very thing that is so erratic or dangerous or the very thing that you would consider to be so unethical is the very thing that people voted for. And I hate to say that. You've got to understand that white supremacy as a movement is more important than the establishment. And I don't think Democrats caught that. I think Democrats kept thinking like, okay, Trump's attacking the establishment, and that hurts Republicans. And they never understood. They never understood the part about that's what white supremacy is. That it's about being over the government and running the government in such a way that it makes a mockery of government. And that, even though it's all nepotistic, that you put your son-in-law in over stuff, you couldn't get security clearance, so he wasn't the best man for the job, obviously. I think a third of his government positions were never filled. None of that matters. That's the role of the Republican Party. To make a mockery of government, to make it not work, to gum up the works. And I just think that showing these kind of facts to Republicans with the idea to turn them against Trump, it didn't matter. It was about so much more than his moral stuff or lack of thereof of moral stuff. Thanks for listening.